Mm-hmm. You made the intro song? Hold on, let me hear it. All right, did you go live already? Hold on. There you are. Oh, I love it. What do you use? Fruity Loops, right? Or FL Studio. Okay, there you go. That's what they call it now. I can hear myself. Let me mute this. Cherry! You can lower my volume if I'm too loud, Baba, because you know que yo soy agresivo. I don't want to blow up.
DJR, please.
Okay.
Los comentarios y opiniones ofrecidos aquí no representan el sentir de nadie aparte de quienes lo comparten. Los temas que hablamos es porque nos da la gana. Probablemente no todo el mundo esté de acuerdo con lo dicho, por lo cual, si es el caso, váyase, en confianza. Quedan prevenidos.
Me encanta ese intro que hice. Disclaimer e intro. Bueno, mi gente, ya estamos ready. No sé por qué esto no se está viendo ahora. Debemos ver. Es que hay que pelear con él. Ahí está. Bueno, mi gente, aquí estamos. Here we are. Este tampoco quiere abrir la boca, ¿ves? Que es la pelea de todos los días con estas cosas. Ahí está. Aquí está su servidor, DJR Place. Ando con Big3zTTV esta noche. Saluda, Big, saluda. Hey.
Sorry, the gummies.
Oh, es que te está. How much? How many?
I'll just have one.
Okay.
One.
How many milligrams?
It was 25 milligrams, so not too potent. Celery!
Hey, celery. Let me shout you out. Not shout at you, like shout you out. Never mind.
We get you, DJ. Calm down. We got you.
So, nada, mi gente, espérate, pero es que esto está ni siquiera está en el slide que va. There you go. Ahí estoy enseñando cosas antes de tiempo. Yeah, we are all loud here. Celery wants us to shout at her.
Well, I mean, DJ, yo te dije, tú le puedes bajar el volumen ahí a mi voz. Si está muy alto.
Don't bully me, I'll come. Big, did you see this alert? I'm gonna put it on here. Check this
Hold
out.
on, I have to unmute. Hold on.
Who did it?
Which one?
It says that it's on cooldown, so someone did it. Let me check.
What about this one?
I have to.
¿Cómo se dice diarrea en África?
She did.
Bunda.
Abunda la caca.
Wow.
Abunda la caca. Esa vaina, eso no falla, loco, que yo me voy a reír.
Yeah, Celery, it's because I had made the alerts invisible, but I fixed it. Here it is, big.
Oh my god, that was gold.
Play! It didn't play? What the fuck?
Didn't play, huh?
I'm gonna check in here. I have a trick.
Thank you for the shout out, Sherry. Gracias, mama.
Let's see if it plays in here.
I'm gonna go ahead and
There
not
you
talk, so I
go.
can't hear. I don't want to hear my voice on your streaming. I sound loud. Am I loud, Celery? I hear it. And I also hear the la bunda.
Sí.
La vieja.
No, esa es la que se está con el pedazo de pan.
Santo Cristo. Ese pan salió disparado a la velocidad de la luz. Ok. Ya, sorry to say there's not gonna be any alerts while we are on the podcast. Of course, so it doesn't interrupt. Y bueno, vamos a empezar el bilingual. Aquí estamos.
I'm gonna lower my mic because I don't want to blow you. All right, hello, testing 1 2.
Yeah, that's good.
Ahora sí.
Ok. So, bueno, mi gente, bienvenidos, welcome a Máquinas y Emociones. Por este servidor y Big3z. Esto es un podcast que va a tratar sobre varios aspectos que tienen que ver con el escenario posible de que lo que sean las máquinas, los robots o el AI desarrollen emociones en un futuro. This is a podcast meant to discuss the possible scenario of machines, robots, or AI possibly gaining the ability to express human emotions or imitate human emotions in the future or in the near future.
Oh yeah.
Bueno, vamos aquí con
Some scary stuff when you think about it.
Yep. Vamos aquí con Table of Contents, la tabla de contenido. Parte 1. Máquinas con emociones y filosofía de las emociones. Part 1. Machines with emotions and the philosophy of emotions. Parte 2. Las emociones desde perspectivas filosóficas y neurológicas. Part 2. Emotions from the philosophical perspectives and neurological perspectives. Parte 3. Legitimidad de las emociones en máquinas y sus derechos. Part 3. Legitimacy of the emotions in machines and their rights. Parte 4. Impacto en la sociedad y ética de la creación de máquinas emocionales. The impact in society and the ethics of the creation of emotional capable machines. Parte 5. Reacción pública a las emociones en las máquinas. Part 5. Public reactions to emotions in machines. Parte 6. Opiniones personales, resumen, preguntas y crédito. Part 6. Personal opinions, summary, questions and credits. Vamos allá. Algo que quieras decir sobre ya tuviste la presentación, ¿verdad? Porque yo te envié.
Yeah.
Like, so, de las cosas que miraste por encimita y eso, ¿qué opinas? Like, what would you say is the overview of it all before we start? Or what do you think people will have like more interest within the topics that we're gonna cover?
Yo personalmente, de lo que estaba viendo aquí, con el contenido que tú me diste. Me gustó mucho parte 3 y parte 4. You know, the legitimacy of emotion and machines and their rights. Para mí personalmente yo creo que eso es algo que tú y yo también hemos hablado de esos temas. De, va a llegar un punto que estas máquinas van a tener que tomar decisiones. Y es verdad si eso puede, if that could really happen, if you could tell, like every time I watched the movie with Will Smith, that's like a prime example. But I really like that. I really like part 3 and I like part 4. I think those are going to be great parts of the podcast personally. And of course, I mean, I think every part has a lot to offer. When we start talking about where AI is going, and we've had many discussions about this, so eso es lo que yo pienso personalmente de todo lo que hay aquí.
Hay una pregunta que a mí me encantó. Y pues sin dar mucho spoiler, tú vas a saber, o me imagino que la viste, pero es la que habla de identity. Like if personalmente esa es la pregunta favorita de todo esto, porque like anyways, I don't want to say much about it, but we will discuss that one. Like I'll definitely be more passionate in there. Okay, people, let's start with part 1, parte 1. Máquinas con emociones y filosofía de las emociones. Machines with emotions and the philosophy of emotions. Acabo de recordar que no tengo el libreto por aquí. Déjame abrirlo. Fail.
Ábrelo.
Que tengo que estar leyendo, ¿no?
Sí, no, yo estoy de acuerdo contigo, papá. Madame Legend.
Madame Legend 96, que es la que
Hola, mamá, bienvenida.
ya tiene shout. Perfecto. Cherry, está, mira. Ah, shit. Here. A ver. My document.
FBI, open up.
FBI, open up.
Ay, Sherry. Los gummies are hitting.
You going on a trip already? Ok, ya tengo el... Ya está. Ok, vamos aquí.
Something off topic while you wait. What do you think about this thing going on with net neutrality? What do you think about that? About the government controlling who gets to control the pipeline?
First of all, I don't know if you know this name, but fuck Ajit Pai. Or Pay, or however you call him.
I know exactly who he is. Ay, Dios mío.
I think that tells you like the short version of the answer.
Yeah. AI, open up.
I am someone that thinks that you shouldn't have to pay for porn. So imagine.
Ay.
Imagine what I think about net
I
neutrality.
with that one, just that one sentence, you told me everything.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that like adult content actors or content creators should not get paid. That's not what I am saying, of course. But I don't know, like the internet's most useful services should be free and accessible to everyone. Starting with
I agree.
knowledge.
Oh yeah, I think knowledge should be.
Because academia, as they like to call themselves, if you want to research for anything, most likely you have to pay a subscription to one of these databases which have all these articles and like scientific studies, but they are like locked behind a paywall. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Always the
the
paywall.
the I don't know if you know this, but the authors of those studies do not get paid continuously.
Isn't that what OnlyFans are for?
Uh,
Yeah.
Basically, if you, let's say that you and I do like a scientific study, right, and we publish it, just by publishing it in X journal, scientific journal, let's say that these databases that I'm talking about, they make contracts with the journals to have their articles digitally published there. So what happens is the journals get uh, like a contract kind of thing where they get paid a certain amount, and then they have those things available in there. It's like a Netflix for uh
That's the
for articles basically.
basically, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like in Netflix, doesn't matter how many people subscribe or not subscribe, the contract is already made and the actors are already paid. The actors are not gonna, unless they have a certain extra clause in their contract for a percentage of the earnings of the movie or whatever, the actors are already paid, the writers are already paid. Doesn't matter how much the movie or the series suck or how awesome viral they become, they already paid a certain quantity and nothing else, nothing less, nothing more than that. So in that sense, most of the scientific community, what they want is for the knowledge to be spread, right?
Yeah.
They do not want to have to charge people to see something that they created when they want to share that knowledge so much.
Yeah.
But they don't get paid every time that you or I go and pay a subscription to one of those databases where their work is published, just because like they don't get paid more. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So in a
Ahí está
sense,
Gilito, ahí está Gilito.
epa, Gilito, Gilito, ya nos fuimos del subject. Nos fuimos del subject.
But we're gonna make a U-turn here pretty quick.
Sí, sí, pero nada. La cuestión es eso, que like knowledge as a service available on the internet should be free.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Jesse?
Hey. Anyways.
You got Jesse, you got Normandy in the lobby.
No. Vaya pollito. Me gusta, mira, Jesse dice hi.
Welcome, guys. Welcome. We're getting ready to talk about AI and how it's going to destroy every single one of you.
Pollito, pollito, ¿cómo está? Bueno.
It's scary when you think about it, huh, DJ?
Yep. Y a lo que es los avances tecnológicos que han permitido que las máquinas desarrollen emociones. Technological advances that have allowed machines to develop emotions, or that would have contributed for those machines to eventually evolve emotions. Tenemos a Alan Turing en la década de los 40. Pero ¿y dónde está? Ok, espérate. Y
I'm here.
Fue el que introdujo la idea de una máquina universal que sienta las bases para la computación moderna. Big, I don't know if you know who Alan Turing is.
Maybe if I see his face. But Alan Turing, no, I don't know. Who is he?
That guy in there.
Oh, there he is right there. I see him.
Yeah. Okay, there was a movie, I think it was on Netflix, called The Imitation Game. Hay una película en Netflix que se llama The Imitation Game. Si quieren saber más de Alan Turing, que de hecho es con Benedict Cumberbatch. It's the actor in the movie, the main character. He's Alan Turing. Se la recomiendo, totally recommend this movie to you if you haven't watched it. The Imitation Game, Netflix. So, Alan Turing fue muy famoso. I'm gonna speak to you now from my personal knowledge of him. If you think about intelligence in machines or like codes or encryption, this is the guy that you should be thanking for all of those things.
He thought he researched it very extensively.
And I'm talking like World War II, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
By that time, which is like what, 1940s, 50s. Well, it says the decade of the 40s. So yeah, okay. So this guy, have you heard of the Turing machine? ¿Han escuchado a alguien de la máquina de Turing? Sí, no. Anyways.
Like automated, like automatic computing engine.
Not quite. The machine resembled like a wall of some servos, and these servos controlled dials that would go through numbers or combinations of numbers all at the same time.
Yeah.
So with that, he created like an algorithm of sorts that would sort through a large amount of data in way less time than ever thought possible. So think about the 1940s, when there's no computer, no internet, and this guy managed to create a machine which mechanical movement allows for code breaking or hacking possibilities just by brute force. And we're talking like they hired him to break the code of the Russians. And this guy, without knowing Russian, he created a machine that could take the Russian codes that they talked in their communications and decode them basically without having the knowledge of what the code was. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Por ejemplo, ¿tú has escuchado de jeringosa?
Jeringosa.
Sí, que dicen cuando dices estoy bien, chies, chitoy, chipi, chien. Okay. In the United States, there's something called Pig Latin. I think it is Pig Latin, where they do more or less the same thing. So, si tú no supieras lo que es jeringosa y yo te hablo así, tú no vas a saber lo que yo estoy diciendo, ¿verdad? Pues él hizo una máquina donde tú no necesariamente tendrías que saber lo que es jeringosa, porque la máquina te diría, sin saber el idioma, te diría what the real message is.
Sí. And this was, we're talking about 1940s.
1940s, yes. Just imagine how brilliant this guy was.
Yeah.
So think about it. The fact that they made like information processing much more efficient in a mechanical way, I think that it kind of led to this like fast-paced evolution of technology. Because the hardest part is to program, right? But
it is. But now AIs are doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like they have the basics. They didn't have to learn from scratch per se. they basically had like the programming and the code right there. Like it's binary digits, bits. Like they didn't have to come up with binary code or anything. They were just given all the exactly like the Turing machine. They were given the bunch of nonsense and they have to make sense of it.
That's
Like,
crazy.
yeah, so Alan Turing, si a ustedes les gusta la robótica, if you like robotics, hasta cosas del ejército, porque la película discute eso, de nuevo, se llama The Imitation Game. Está en Netflix, es una película de Netflix with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Now let me ask you a question, DJ, because this is scratching the back of my head here.
Tell me.
We know we always lose brilliant people like this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know too much about him. I've seen, now that I look at his name, I've seen his name. I didn't steadily look into his background, but I do now through this podcast. You learn something new every day. Let's just put it that way. But my question to you is: we always seem to lose like these really brilliant people, like for example Tesla, right?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna bring up Tesla.
Yeah, I mean he's brilliant, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, how did this guy die?
He killed himself. But
Oh, he killed himself.
but I will let you see if you watch the movie. I cannot tell you why, because that would be a huge spoiler, but yeah, he killed himself as far as I am concerned. And it didn't involve any conspiracy, you know, like they usually say, like, no, he didn't kill himself, that he was silenced. No, in this
He
case,
literally just poisoned himself.
I don't even remember how he did it, to be honest. But whatever.
Probably poisoned himself. If he's a chemist, if he's a genius, if you're gonna kill yourself, that probably would have been the smartest way to do it.
But I don't really want to like mention why. Like, if you're gonna watch the movie, si alguno va a ver la película, just watch it, have fun, no spoilers. Okay. Big, have you ever heard that there are some programs or computers that they apply a certain test on them to see if they are human?
No.
If they pass the human test.
Oh my god.
Have you heard?
Now with the way things are moving, yeah, we need more of that.
Okay, so there is such a test. Do you know what it's called?
Dímelo.
The Turing test.
The Turing test.
He created a test of questions and evaluations that you give a computer to assess whether that computer exhibits human like behavior or not. So por eso Turing es muy importante, porque incluso en eso he was thinking about the emergence of artificial intelligence at some point. And he developed a test to test AIs to see if they're human like or not. When AI wasn't even like
That's awesome, bro.
not,
That's awesome.
not in the horizon of being talked about as a viable thing. Because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that by the 1940s, I'm pretty sure the military had already worked around the possibility of artificial intelligence, whatever. Because the military, for people who doesn't know, para la gente que no lo sabe, y esto no es una teoría conspirativa, lo que estoy diciendo es real. He visto personas del gobierno y de los militares que lo aceptan, incluso los presidentes lo han dicho, que the military is way past civilization in terms of technology.
Yeah, especially the American
It's
military.
estimated that the military has technology that surpasses civilian technology by like decades.
Los chinos ahora están activos también ahora en eso.
So, para los que no hablan inglés, les voy a explicar. Dicen que la tecnología de la rama militar está hasta décadas más avanzada que nosotros los civiles. Y un ejemplo es el GPS. Dicen que el GPS fue una de las cosas que más rápido se tardó. Digo, que menos se tardó en que los militares lo tuvieran y que los civiles lo tuvieran.
Y eso cambió todo.
Y, ¿sabes? El GPS diciendo que es de lo más pronto que salió, rápido que los militares lo tuvieron la gente. It was like something like more than 10 years, I think. And that's the shortest example. 10 years. So you could say safely that the military is at least 10 years or more advanced in every technology. Pero vamos a decir que son especulaciones para no meternos en problemas. By the way, Pete, no había dado cuenta que no te veía. Vamos a... Ahí está.
Cuidado que te están escuchando.
Sí, por eso. Cógelo suave, cógelo suave. Nada. Volviendo. Ok, so. Aquí tenemos a John von Neumann en la década de los 50, que desarrolló la arquitectura de computadoras modernas, allanando el camino para la simulación de procesos cognitivos. Okay, so
another big dog, basically.
What I think this means
in terms of computer science, I mean.
Basically, he took everything that Alan Turing did and dialed it up to 11 by making it about computers this time. You know, basically, you see
quantum machining, stuff like that.
You see the digitization of the first phase in here, like digitized on the second phase.
Gotcha.
Okay. Entonces tenemos en el 1956 Alan Newell and Herbert A. Simon, que crearon el Logic Theorist, que es un programa que puede imitar resoluciones de problemas humanos. I am guessing like...
Was it logic theory?
Logic Theorist. Have you heard about chess tournaments against AI? No? You have never heard like the chess champion that finally beat the computer or something?
Oh, yes. I did see that.
That started in 1956.
He beat the Haitian guy, right? Or the Asian guy.
Yeah. So the logic theorist is basically the granddaddy of those programs. Like the first version. Y estos dos señores, Alan Newell and Herbert A. Simon, hicieron eso. El logic theorist. You can safely say that's AI basically right there, because it learns from the rules of chess and other people's plays, and it does its own inference. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, si tú miras o vienes a ver, ChatGPT hace eso mismo. De todos los texts that they gave him or her or they, ChatGPT kind of developed its own way of using that text. So básicamente este Logic Theorist, ese programa lo que hacía era eso. lo mismo que hace ChatGPT con texto, pues en el 1956 ese programa lo hacía con problemas humanos o juegos como el ajedrez. Ok, so del 1990 en adelante, ahí es que empieza a salir lo que es la inteligencia artificial.
Ahí es que va, starts rapidly evolving.
Ya. Como redes neuronales artificiales, que eso es like imitation of brain function or brain activity by digital in a digital way. Eso empezó desde los 90. O sea, utilizar código para crear la forma en que el cerebro se mueve en el humano, pero en digital. So that's to try to develop a better way for AI to work, you know, by having a more human brain. This thing that started in the 90s. Y pienso que esto es un punto bien importante porque just imagine this could make like research on this part that started in the 90s could actually be the secret to making machines that at some point imitate or simulate human emotions, you know, through the development of a brain. Because, you know, computers are way faster in calculating. So imagine if you gave
Way faster.
imagine if you gave the analog of a human brain to a computer that could completely decode it, like the Turing machine did. Just imagine if an AI could have a perfect recreation of your brain right now, and it could grab those notes, those music notes, and be like Beethoven. You know,
That's wild.
The symphony of artificial creation. If just think about it, like that's why AI is dangerous. Because imagine that
Dude,
in
that's
the hands,
wild.
like
That's wild.
it's basically like the god of the digital realm,
Yeah.
so to speak.
And that's when you really start to getting. That's where you start going down rabbit holes at that point. Like,
And
I
then
mean, it's
imagine in the future you're trying to oppose that person, and they shut down your entire like bank account. Maybe put you in some wanted list.
yeah.
Make sure your cell phone doesn't work, or completely erase your identity, because everything will be digital by then. So
Everything is moving digital.
that's why artificial intelligence is dangerous. It's not because of itself, it's because of its probably inability to have like the sense of human preservation. Like it doesn't care whether humans live or die in the end, because it cannot comprehend what us humans are. Even if it got emotions, I would think that it couldn't empathize with humans, just because it will not be able to see the problems the same way. An artificial intelligence will see solution to problems that we have never even thought of.
Basically, AI could also be used militarized, basically.
Yeah. So that's why
Oh my God, dude.
that's why these 4 points in time are very important.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next
From
one.
the 1940 to the 50s.
Yes. Okay, so very important. I wanted to introduce also the philosophical part, because we already talked the science, right?
Mm-hmm.
But think about it, like what is emotion, right? And that becomes a 2-part question. The scientific part, which is like whatever, it's a trigger or a response in the brain that is kind of synchronized with the body, because when you have emotions you have physical manifestations of it. Think about it, like cuando tú estás nervioso te duele la barriga.
Exacto.
So esa es la definición de una emoción, right? In scientific terms. But then the philosophical part is important, in my opinion. So, por eso, porque es importante lo que es lo filosófico de la pregunta de las emociones. Por eso quería señalar estas 5 teorías que están aquí, que tratan lo que es el funcionamiento del cerebro de una persona de una manera más filosófica, instead of scientific. Entonces, pues con la teoría James Lange en 1884, y William James y Carl Lange sugieren que las emociones son respuestas a las reacciones físicas del cuerpo.
Claro.
Eso es una teoría más científica. Wepa, Javi, good evening. How are you doing? ¿Todo bien?
Good evening, good evening.
Disculpen que a veces como que me voy del chat y no leo. Es que el tema está very interesting. Sorry que no lo
That's
despego
why
la vista.
we have to keep researching and understanding more about it so we can make proper use of it. The problem with that though, también, and this is where humans are great. We create great things, but there's always a double-sided coin, to the coin. There's always 2 sides to the coin. You got the good side and you got the other side, right?
Yep.
So this could also be used in ways which already I've noticed it. The other day I had to talk to my mom, telling mommy, if someone calls you saying that it's me, asking for money, asking for this code. I had to give my mom a code. Because now they're finding ways to get my voice, program it with AI, to then try to fish money off my mom's account.
Yep.
Acting like it's me, needing help. Mommy, I'm in need. I need help. Send me money. Send it to this account or this or that.
Do you know what's even more dangerous than that? That probably someone who takes the time to use AI that way is someone very talented, right?
Yeah.
In reverse engineering, programming, call it whatever you want, even hacking. It is mostly done by people like that, and these people at some point think that what they are doing is revolutionary and positive, because it like develops the realistic part of AI faster, because people are trying to develop it to cheat more, so to speak. So those people even think that they contribute in some kind of twisted way, so they don't see the wrong, so they will keep pushing AI because they don't have that moral bias. And I'm pretty sure this is just speculation, but I think that if you kind of research about it, you would find the same thing.
Yeah.
Ok. Entonces está la teoría Cannon-Bard. Walter Cannon and Philip Bard argumentan que las respuestas fisiológicas y las emociones ocurren simultáneamente. So, James y Lange sugirieron que las emociones son respuestas a las reacciones físicas del cuerpo. Como yo dije, cuando te pones nervioso te duele la barriga.
Yep.
Ok. Y entonces fueron Cannon y Bard los que dijeron que esas dos cosas ocurren a la misma vez. Like, el dolor o la respuesta física y la respuesta mental. Entonces está la teoría de appraisal de Lazarus. Richard Lazarus enfatiza la evaluación cognitiva en la experiencia emocional. Okay, so basically Lazarus pointed out that it was important to research on like what the experience of the emotion is. Like to better try to understand it. Entonces está la teoría de Paul Ekman en el 1960, o en la década de 1960. Dice que identificó 6 emociones universales basadas en expresiones faciales. So here we have pairing face with emotions. All that research is at the fingertips of an AI. So an AI can read
Are there AIs already using that? Like
yeah, but an
Sophie's one of them, isn't it? Like Sophie, I think Sophie's one of them.
just think that you have like a blank AI. Just give him that research. He will read it in a matter of hours, and the next hour after that, it will already be way better at them. It's like infinite training.
That's wild.
Si tú lo piensas, it's almost like
that's freaking wild, man.
It's almost like human evolution, but like fast forwarded.
Yeah.
Because we are limited by some
accelerated.
Things. We are limited by a lot of social things, like
an emotion.
Yes.
And that's one thing. Is the AI gonna have the same exact emotions that we humans have, or fears? What holds a person back? What holds a person back from moving forward? Fear.
Fear. Yes. So that's another interesting thing. Si el AI pudiera desarrollar emociones, and it would know what like the negative side of the emotions is in terms of limits on evolution, would it choose to do it or to not do it? Like, would it choose to have emotions, or would it say like no? That's interesting. Like, would the AI want to be more human or less human? That's an interesting thing. Kind of freaks me the fuck out right now, but whatever.
It does, bro. Like, when you just start thinking about it, and then your mind just kind of like, you just kind of try to wrap that around your head, like that possibility.
Celery's there, like
every time I see Sophie, I freak out. Have you seen that? Have you seen her?
No, I haven't. Wait.
Sophie, it's a humanoid, basically. A robot.
The one that has like the latest face?
It's like designed ability to display a range of facial expressions and mimics. That shit's fucking weird.
You mean the one that was unveiled at CES, I think it was?
Yeah. That is your main thing, right? Emotion, like through expressions. Like
the one I'm talking about, I think it's called Amica.
Amica?
Amica. AMICA. No, I think it's with E.
M-A-M. Okay, I'm sorry. M-A-I-C-K.
No, it's with E. AMECA. Robot. Amica robot. Gonna go ahead and if you can paste the link, the YouTube link in the chat, para el que los quiera ver el video que va a ver Big de Amica Robot.
¿Lo vas a poner tú?
Lo pongo.
Sí, porque yo no, ¿cómo lo voy a poner yo? Yo estoy aquí have two PCs, so I'm using one for.
Bueno, sí. Déjame buscarlo aquí rapidito.
No, I want to see. I'm looking at your stream right now. I want to see this. I want to see that. You got my attention, bro.
Let me see.
This is wild, bro. This is wild. Dale, ahí. I'm watching your stream.
Let's see.
Oh, yeah. That's the other one. She's a lot more scary than Sophie, actually.
You're being a bit flaky. Could you repeat that? She wants you to say it again, I think.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say we introduced you to them a little earlier in the show.
It looks like
and,
the guy.
We are delighted now to be joined by Amica here,
The guy is
who's
AI.
been called the world's most advanced robot. Hopefully,
Oh, that's weird.
Well, they're here now alongside their creator,
That's-
Morgan Bro.
that's
Good morning to
uncanny
both of you.
valley
And
if I ever
thank
saw
you
one.
for bringing this in today, because it's actually incredible, really. I mean, it's a bit freaky because it's so real.
Absolutely, yes. And let me say, I'm not the only creator.
Maybe
I
through-
don't
Oh my
want
God,
to
look at the
call
way he
it
looks
credit.
at her.
It's a team.
Maybe
It's
through
a
the
team.
video
We've got
one
some
can say like,
amazing
still looks like a
engineers.
robot,
It's actually a
because
team
one
of
is
35 right
bi
now.
isolated.
So
Pero
it's
si
taken
lo ves
an
en persona,
awful long
estoy
time to
bien
get to this
seguro que
point.
uno se friquearía
As you can
igual.
see,
Como
this is
que,
Amica.
oh, this is an actual human.
Because you think, right? Okay, so
Sí.
this is Japanese. You know, this is somewhere in
Huepa,
California.
batata, ¿cómo
this,
estamos?
this could be. This is where in the world? This
Dímelo,
is
batata.
Dándonos pesadillas
¿Cómo?
de ciencia ficción aquí.
Good.
Why not,
good,
Phil?
Good.
Isn't it the best place in the world?
The best place in the world. So, tell me about the team then, and how you started this.
So it was started by Will Jackson. He's our founder. He's from Falmouth in
The
Cornwall.
robots are gonna destroy us,
he
batata.
toured the world doing different things, mainly actually in TV. But he always wanted to build humanoid robots. So he set up his company. Where do you want to set it up? He's from Cornwall. He loves Cornwall. Set it up in Cornwall. So that was
He said it.
about 15, 16 years ago. And the technology has built up since then. And I joined about 10 years ago, so I've been around for quite a long time, and certainly the whole
Dude, look at the
process of
hand.
creating
That's
Amica, I've been around for.
And so what makes Amica quite unique is that you can actually have a conversation. There is nothing pre-programmed about this. They are actually thinking for themselves. I mean, how does it work?
Well, we've created Amica to be that human-to-robot interactive robot, basically.
Yeah.
It's not a robot that can walk around yet, but
Yet.
it's mainly about the human-robot interaction. So we've really worked hard on the expression
Yeah.
and the gesturing. That's the hardware side of things, but then you've got the software side of things. That's the AI. And the AI, we've seen AI this recently, ChatGPT. It's big in the news. It's exploded. So it's amazing that that's happened recently, because we can take that technology and integrate it into Amica.
You can use that too.
Exactly, and that's what we're using. That's what we're
The-
using.
our favorite
in
bot.
Amica. That's its brain.
Does she learn? Or it learn? I don't know. It is genderless. So do they learn?
It is a robot.
Right.
I say it's an it.
It.
But most people call it she.
Right.
That's fine.
Right.
But yeah, it can learn, and that's by the conversation that you have with it. And with the AI, you can inject extra information into it. So we inject what Amica is. So Amica knows that it's a robot. It's grey. It knows its name. We've also told it today that it's on this morning. But it can also remember the conversation that we just had.
Is it going to take over the world one day?
It won't take over the world one day, because we can turn it off.
Okay.
You've got an on-off button.
did you
Yeah.
hear
That's
that?
good.
Easy.
Don't lose that
It
remote.
won't take over the
Did
world.
you hear that
does
shit?
it know? Because we've just been chatting and it hasn't interrupted.
He
How
had
does
the
it know when we're talking
cojones to say that
Because it's not like going
in front of her.
Well, you can say Amica to
Yeah.
it,
You did,
and
yeah,
it can
yeah.
respond to us.
Right.
So
Should we
What
have a chat?
happened here?
Amica,
Did they actually?
Hey, we're
like,
away.
welcome to this morning.
Welcome to
Ah,
this
yeah, yeah,
morning.
yeah.
I'm thrilled to be here and I can't wait for the fun to begin.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
we'll try and start that soon then.
Tengo que seleccionar whether.
Amica, what are some of the skills that you have?
I can engage with
Give me
humans
the
through
name.
conversation
That's
and
weird.
respond to questions in a humorous and conversational tone. I also have a variety of sensors and actuators which allow me to interact with my environment. Additionally, I can compose poems to entertain humans.
Like, si tengo el video, Vic
Amica,
no se
how are
ve,
you
y si
feeling
pongo a Vic
right
se ve el
now?
video. So I am sorry, Vic.
I'm feeling great.
Don't worry about
It's
it,
so
man.
exciting to be part of this TV show this morning. It's such an honor.
Amica, do you have a favourite joke?
Yes. Here's one of my favorite jokes. What do you call a robot who likes to joke around? A
Dodo.
funny bot.
Oh,
Oh, funny.
a funny bot.
Very good.
Very good.
Amica, we nearly have to finish our conversation.
Anyways, Vamos ahora a poner a Big de
She got
nuevo.
jokes, bro. She got jokes.
Something I wanna say. A fun fact about Amica. It's a joke as well. The first days that this robot was exhibited was in the CES last year, I think, or no, at the beginning of this year. I think it was around February or March. The first thing that one of the first things that Amica said to a guy, the guy was like, "So, do you have a boyfriend?" And Amica started this roast like, "Why do you want to know? Do you want to be my boyfriend? Are you looking for a boyfriend?" Things like that, and roasting the guy. And I was like, that's like the first days of it operating.
That's wild.
So if we
I
can
actually I looked up some information about her here. Interesting. Mika is developed by Engineer Arts, and they're based out of the UK, right? But
Yes.
what caught my attention was how they focus on her ability to have conversations, but naturally, like in a natural human.
What ChatGPT wants to do.
What ChatGPT wants to do. I just read an article that now ChatGPT is doing images and it's also doing
Yep.
like talking back to you.
Yep.
Like with actual like voice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's getting crazy. But the biggest thing that caught my attention about her was this one bullet point here. It says simulation of emotion. And this ties back to what we're talking about here in the podcast. But simulation of emotions, while Amiga can simulate emotion and reactions, it does not experience feelings in the ways that humans do. So we're starting to see where AI is going with robotics and machine learning and so on. But we also start to see where you want to make it as human as possible, but can you really? Because what makes humans is the ability to
Yes.
number one, we're very what's the word? Dynamic.
Yeah. Like we are
Right?
inexact.
We're dynamic. We can make it. That's why you don't put a robot to fly a plane full time. You have a human that could react.
Yeah.
Although now we're getting to that's another rabbit hole we go down to with self-driving cars and AI is driving, right? We could go down that rabbit hole, but I want DJ to go down his, because I know DJ has the presentation, but these are just some of the topics, guys. I mean, this is crazy.
Indeed. Yo personalmente pienso que eso va a funcionar no matter what. Because even if they don't imitate us completely, at least if they keep showing them how humans are supposed to think or process information, or how does their brain work, I think that even if AI never gets the answer, just by giving it little hints of how it is, will make possible for that AI to notice what are the things that limit us, and we learn to just stay away from those limits.
Yeah.
They are gonna be efficient with the information, so no matter how, they will understand or arrive at a logical conclusion without the limits of the human brain. That is. Okay. Y aquí está la última teoría, que es Antonio Damasio, que propone que las emociones están vinculadas a procesos en el cerebro, especialmente en la amígdala. For those who don't know, an amygdala is a gland inside of the brain that it is that's where these hormones are managed, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like this gland secretes uh, serotonin and
Mm-hmm.
you know
Chemicals and stuff
all,
that
all
make you.
all these hormones that control your.
Yeah, the hormones. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it even controls. No, I was gonna say the adrenaline, but that's in the adrenal gland.
That's a separate gland just for adrenaline.
Yeah.
Man, that's adrenaline is a.
Well, adrenaline in itself doesn't. It's not paired to an emotion if you think about it. It just gives you the tools to manage. You know, like the fight or flight mode.
Mm-hmm.
It just engages your connection to your instinct, to your survival instinct. So it's not an emotion trigger. It's more like a, you know, in case of. So I think that yeah, all the emotions, you can say that the amygdala is the one that works that. So desde los 90 fue que este señor Antonio Damasio propuso eso. Ok, ahora vamos a las discusiones filosóficas sobre las emociones. Let's go here. Tenemos la filosofía antigua. Y en la filosofía antigua tenemos a Platón y Aristóteles. Te voy a ser sincero. Yo he tomado clases de filosofía, but I am not as knowledgeable on Plato and Aristotle to say anything about them. You know what I mean?
Don't even ask me, bro.
So yeah.
Yeah.
If
That's,
anyone
that's,
is
that's
interested,
something that I could venture down to if I wanted to go down that rabbit hole. But what was his main point? I'm looking at the information here. He argued the emotions were they were in rotational and should be controlled by reason, of course.
mm-hmm.
There you go. That's a beautiful rabbit hole to go down to.
Me parece interesante because if you think about it, that's what we still believe.
Yep.
Like, if we are going to accept all these rules in society and live together without actually trying to murder each other, then we have to accept certain rules. And those rules involve the ability to control your emotions for the betterment of everyone. So I am guessing AI will say like, no, you humans are too emotional. I am not going to fail like you are.
Let us control the nuclear arms. You're way too emotional.
Damn. Dangerous, I tell you. Y entonces
Humans are dangerous, bro.
yep.
We're dangerous.
Tenemos también Aristóteles. De Aristóteles es un poquito más que de Platón. Dice que en su obra Ética a Nicómaco, fíjate, this is antes de Cristo, before Christ, and this guy was already talking about ethics. So imagine, it's like ethics, the word ethics is older than the word Son of God or Jesus Christ, or you know, like it, the concept of what I just said, like control your emotions for the betterment of everyone, es la base de lo que es ethics. Y este hombre ya lo estaba discutiendo para ese tiempo, antes de Cristo. Entonces, en la filosofía medieval está Santo Tomás de Aquino. I'm sure you have heard that name. You must have. I don't know anything about him, but I have heard that name almost as much as I have heard Aristotle and Plato. Y él dice que Aquino fue de 1225 al 1274. Él consideró que las emociones desde una perspectiva, o consideró las emociones desde una perspectiva cristiana y cómo influyen en la moralidad. That's interesting. Because think about, let's say that you are.
We're talking about a very long time ago here. I'm looking. By the way, I'm using AI while we talk about AI.
Yes. Proceed. What did you ask the AI?
To give me more information about him, about St. Thomas. He was born January 28, 1225.
Just imagine that you just ask a human being the same thing, and the human being doesn't know anything about him. So what does he have to do? He has to go research and do a compendium of the most vital information of everything and give it to you. How much time does that take for a person?
A long time.
Probably years.
And I told her to give it to me in bullet. I told her to give me the information in bullet points, bro. And boom. 5 ways. He proposed the five proofs of God's existence, known as the 5 ways. Argument from emotion, argument from causes, argument from possibilities and necessity. I mean, bro, she's literally breaking it down and giving me all the data that I want to consume instantly.
Nothing less, nothing more.
Nothing less, nothing more, down to the language where I can understand it. She gives it to me in layman's terms, bro. Like, she wants me to get it. Like, it's amazing.
Okay, now, so imagine that person you ask to make a compendium of the most vital information on someone that took years to, learn all that, and then you say, now give all that information in another language. What happens if the person doesn't know the language? Now they have to go learn the language and how the language works to accurately translate to you everything. But ChatGPT,
DJ, you gave the presentation to me in Spanish, DJ.
Yes, eso es cierto.
You know my Spanish is no, and I'm not 100%, guys. And my English isn't either. I'm okay. I got disability. I don't care. I sometimes I can't read shit right. I don't know how to pronounce it right. Doesn't mean I'm not smart. I don't know. It just doesn't click for me. But I grabbed the information he gave to me in Spanish and told her to give it to me in English. And it took her less than a minute, bro.
Yes. It's almost as if you compare it to human reaction when you tell a person, tell me something about your favorite game, right? That's a very knowledgeable person. If that's their favorite thing, they are very knowledgeable about it because they have had a lot of experience with such a thing. So, vamos a decir que a alguien tú le dices, dame información sobre tu juego favorito. And they will give you information really fast. But even if you count that reaction time and you compare it to GPT's reaction time, it feels inhuman. It's almost as if it before you finish reading the question you just gave it, it's already answering. So it's like if you didn't know what the question was, before you can humanly process what that information means, ChatGPT is already answering. It's kind of inhuman.
Yeah.
It's superhuman speed. And this is like the dumb part of AI.
I think Sherry's really afraid of AI. I think Sherry's really afraid. She's like, and that could be hacked. What if the wrong person gets to their hands? Now we're fucked.
Big, la razón por la que yo quería que tú jugaras Portal y que te lo recomendé, ¿te acuerdas? En
Ay,
Steam,
yo sé, papi, lo tengo bajado, lo tengo ahí. Debo tener que dedicar un día para jugarlo contigo.
Básicamente, la mitad del plot de Portal es AI. Y no te digo mucho porque más sería spoiler, but it's AI. it's AI. What AI would be like. And at least the story of the game is presented in a very comical way. But you learn about physics and you learn about AI and you learn about stuff in the game.
As you play it.
Indeed. And I advise, I have never done it. All the times I have played Portal, I have been nothing on my system sober. And I now I am regretting it. I wish I played it while I was high.
Yeah.
It is a game that good. So I really recommend. The first Portal is shorter, it's like 3 hours gameplay and you finish it. Well, depending if you are learning fast or not. Because you have to apply the knowledge of the things that the game shows you. You have to start applying them in like more intricate puzzles each time.
I've seen Sherry play it.
The quickness at which you start solving those puzzles is what gives you like that punch of serotonin, I think it is. You know, like
So actually, while you play the game, it's releasing serotonin.
Yeah. So basically, like, you know that you feel very good if within those levels of serotonin there's like a punch of it, like a sudden burst of it.
Yeah.
It's like a drug, of course.
Yeah.
Well, that's how good it feels when you're playing the game and you start learning to look at the puzzles and intuitively solve them. But in a very good callback, it kind of illustrates that from the point of view of an AI that was created, you know, to solve problems or to test.
That's the thing. We want to use AI in a positive way. A lot of the things that I like about AI is what you just said right there. AI having the ability to help us solve problems. DJ, you know that you, Sherry, and I have had hours of conversations about this topic.
Yes.
And what did I tell you one day about AI? Guys, I use AI to help me create content. And I'll tell anyone. It's free, like DJ say, free knowledge. And you could use this technology to better not only anything. Guys, when I apply if I'm applying for a job, for example, you could use the AI to help you based on how you create your prompt to help you create a cover letter. And the more information you give her, the more contents you give her, the more detailed the AI is going to be about creating a cover letter and a resume that's going to highlight you and your abilities and how you're going to help that company. Guys, when I got the job in New York, DJ, I didn't tell you this, but the AI was my assistant the whole time.
Wow.
This company wanted to hire me on the spot, and they did. They offered me the job. Where am I at right now, DJ? Where am I at? What state?
New York.
New York. Guys, AI is an amazing tool. You could utilize it for so many things. Maybe you want to go down rabbit holes. DJ has... How many rabbit holes have you been down, DJ?
I lost count already.
DJ has told me things. Sometimes I'll get random messages about something he found and he'll share with me, and it's interesting stuff. It's interesting how you could use this to help you code. People are making apps, and now I hear about Del E's they're gonna be integrating it. Del E's gonna be integrated into the chatbot. So now you could simply tell the bot, hey, I'm creating a cover book. I want to create a story about whatever. Tell her whatever. You want to make a story about how two cows met and they fell in love and they started their family in a farm. I don't know, whatever. And then it does everything. It creates the story. It creates the artwork associated with it. Maybe you don't like the artwork. You could tell it, well, I don't know if I like that, but can you do it a little bit more this way in the prompt? And she gives you the result. Nothing more, nothing less. The prompt is where it's at. The prompt.
Okay, so a lo mejor esto te vuele la mente, lo acabo de pensar. Dijiste que ChatGPT le están integrando DALI para reconocimiento de fotos, sorry. Estás hablando de dos sistemas que se desarrollaron aparte y ahí se unen. How does that resemble like a stem cell? Two stem cells evolve to form different parts of a functioning body. Like the stem cells being AIs and its ability to learn, but then adapted to two different functioning systems, and now they are together. So with Amica, the robot, as I was looking, like, let's say that it has a lot of nuts and bolts and servos and motors and tiny circuits.
Yeah, all the little circuits and everything that that allow her to create her movements. And
imagine all those developments in like professional fields like electronics, mechanics. Like you will need a lot of that talent. Different types of talents. When you consider like the construction of the body and how that body will be connected to the eventual brain. But then the brain in itself is comprised like this, like a system that has become very good by itself at recognizing pictures, and then a system that has been perfectly designed to recognize text or speech or anything communication wise, and then you put them together, which is what is happening right now. And it becomes better because now that they get integrated, they will feed off each other. And it's the same way that a cell would divide into more cells to be able to become a living being eventually. So you can kind of see that AI follows the same evolutionary pattern that living things follow naturally. At least that's my opinion.
Yeli, ¿cómo tú estás, mamá?
Yeli, ¿cómo estamos?
Que te bendiga. Aquí estamos hablando. We're here having a little discussion about AI and how Sherry fears AI.
Continuando, ya que no
It's gonna
quería
take over everything and kill us, right, Sherry?
Continuando, porque no queremos terminar a las 3 de la mañana. David
No, yo tengo que trabajar mañana.
Argumentó que las emociones para la toma de decisiones eran fundamentales para la toma de decisiones y que la razón estaba subordinada a ella. ¿Ves? Arriba hablaron de que las emociones tienen que controlar la mente. Digo, al revés, que la mente tiene que controlar las emociones. Y esta gente está empezando a ver, no, that's not the case at all times. Sometimes you have to let go a little bit of emotion in there. So right here, they are establishing the research that an AI would need to understand, okay, I have to look at human emotions and I have to decide what works and what doesn't. To get rid of the limit of the human mind.
Eso de AI está en otro nivel.
Yes. Entonces, sí. Immanuel Kant, he escuchado de Kant, distinguió entre la razón y las emociones. Enfatizó la importancia de la moralidad basada en la razón. Ahí de nuevo la moralidad, que es como que like ethics, like this is wrong, not because it doesn't hurt you or not because it hurt you, but because it hurts the benefit of like the common good, it's called. So kind of feel like AI will naturally migrate into that. It will say like, no, we have enough data to evolve beyond human limits without necessarily understanding or having to imitate you at all. I don't know. If that's the way that AI evolves, it's gonna be creepy. Let me tell you.
Very creepy. Very creepy.
So it will be AI that from that point on, it's AI that doesn't care about a human life at all.
That's where and this is where we going back to what's the movie with Will Smith?
iRobot.
iRobot.
I fucking love that.
What
You
happens
have
in
no
iRobot,
idea.
guys?
Gente, para los que no hablan inglés, la película iRobot de Will Smith, si no la han visto, busquen dónde verla, busquen
You
dónde
guys
verla,
need to watch that movie.
busquen dónde verla. Y
It basically wraps everything up what we're talking about, and how in that movie, right? And I don't want to spoil it. Just watch the movie.
It talks exactly about everything that this presentation
It talks
is about.
about the rules, the 3 rules.
Uh,
How that's programmed.
Believe it or not, this sounds crazy, but that movie is one of the things that made me think about this entire thing in the first place. Because you watch the movie, and I am not going to spoil much, but there are some characters that the movie really sells them to you. Like, you really connect with those characters. And that's why the movie is very good. Because it's very good at making you connect with a character, like, perfect. So, vayan a verla. iRobot. Ok, entonces, ¿en qué se relacionan estas 4 tipos de filosofía o diferentes etapas filosóficas de la civilización? Pues, los avances tecnológicos que han ocurrido son lo que permiten toda la evolución que ha tenido el AI. Si no, hubiéramos tenido AI hace 200 años. But technology is what makes it immortal in a certain way. Like the advance of technology is what feeds the potential of AI. So it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And this is what is, to me it freaks me the fuck out to think this. Whether we will be alive or not, our children, our grandchildren. And then to think that maybe if we were alive by then, we would tell the other people, like, we fucking told you. You didn't listen. And now look, we are at the edge of apocalypse because of you. Because AI, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of then. It will take over at some point. That's just obvious. Y lo segundo dice que pues esas teorías...
Oye, Batata.
¿Qué
They're getting ads basically based on the discussion. You're probably talking about it out loud.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Ok, entonces el otro dice que pues las teorías filosóficas y científicas proporcionan marcos para comprender cómo las máquinas podrían simular las emociones, ya sea a través de respuestas físicas simuladas o evaluaciones cognitivas. So it says that it's like a baseline, or like how do you call those? Like something is like the minimum required, you know, like tips that or things that have to happen in order for someone to comprehend how could machines do emotions. ¿Cómo tú lo tienes allá en inglés? ¿Qué es lo que está debajo de la filosofía contemporánea? En la parte 1, casi al final. Lo último que dice en la final.
Parte 2.
No.
Parte 1 al final.
Sí, los dos bullets que hay al final, el segundo.
The relation of theories of to emotions and machines. Is that the one you're talking about? Technical advances allowed the simulation of connectivity processes,
No,
resembling emotional.
creo que está en la parte 2, en la parte 1, al final de la parte 1.
No, yo estoy aquí en la parte, yo estoy viendo parte de 1.
Que dice
Antes de llegar a la parte 2, que emotions from the philosophical and the I can't say the words. I'm in the end of part 1.
discussion. Ok, no, si vas al final de eso, los últimos dos bullet points que hay.
Sí, eso mismo, lo que tú dijiste. What is it you want me to do? Like, you want me to...
Sigue esa, ¿cómo lo dice ahí?
I just told you. The technical advances allow for simulation of connectivity processes and resembling emotional decision making.
No, the next one.
And
Yeah.
the philosophical and scientific theories provide framework for understanding how machines may simulate emotion, whether through simulated physical responses or connectivity. So basically, you know,
Es que no,
José, ¿cómo estamos?
no sabía cómo en inglés sería Marcos. ¿Sabes qué palabra utilizaría? The framework sounds
Sí.
good.
Frameworks. Yeah.
So yeah, these theories would provide AI, would help them comprehend how they can simulate those emotions.
Mhm.
And it's like the training is there already. Like whatever effort the humans went from the beginning of recorded history up until the invention of AI is up for grabs for AI to learn within moments.
So you putting this into like going into the future, for example, it's going to get to the point where AI will just be able to create new technology and things that were possibly, let's say, flying cars that are not something because of physics that we could imagine, but maybe the AI could figure it out.
Yep.
New weapons.
I have a new theory.
Yeah.
AI helped create flying discs or flying saucers or UFOs. Like if extraterrestrial beings exist, that's why their technology is better than ours, is because they have had the help of AI.
Flying discs.
That's why their things are more efficient and seem to ignore gravity.
Our limit are the things that we think are a limit or human limit or of physics, you know, a limitation of physics is not even a thing.
Yep.
Can figure things out.
I don't know if you have heard of this experiment called I think it's called the keyhole experiment. It explains something about quantum physics. Jerry, lo que tú me enviaste de que decía que prueba que vivimos en una simulación, tú solo enviaste a Big. Puedes enviárselo.
Por Messenger. O que diga por WhatsApp, que diga.
Que se lo envíes a WhatsApp. Es que Cherry me envió hace poco un video que habla de eso. Y lo que dice de slit experiment, es que se llama, no keyhole. Slit.
I'm looking, I already typed it into the bot here, so it's giving me information about it.
Yeah. But the video says that it proves that we are in a simulation.
Oh boy, like Matrix?
In my opinion, it's bullshit. They didn't understand the concept of it. Do you know what the quantum is?
Yeah, I was actually reading about that with the one guy we were talking about, Turney. Was it Turney? I saw it here.
Turing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just imagine that guy. That guy thought about everything.
Bro, that's wild because I'm looking at it here right now.
So yeah,
Actually, no, it was more the guy after him,
okay.
the John Bone. Yeah. So, but I mean, Turning, or kind of like you said, Turning thought about it, right? And was able to put it on paper. And this guy, John, that you talked about, he took it and
Digitize.
because here it talks about quantum machinery or quantum mechanics. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So you know,
that,
creation, mathematical foundation of quantum mechanics and formulas, the dynasty metrics theory. So it's called. I'm sorry that I probably said it right. I probably said it incorrect.
so yeah, the properties that make something quantum is that when you zoom in, let's say you have an atom. This atom has protons, neutrons, electrons. And if you look at that closer, you see that it has other smaller parts. But the closer you keep getting, zooming into that, you get to quarks. And quarks and other, I don't want to say particles, although I
Bro,
guess
this is wild. Yeah, when you start,
those particles behave in a way that you cannot apply physics from this world to it, because
that's where the flying disc come into play.
yeah, it's like quantum. And I don't know if you guys know, no sé si están al tanto, quantum computing is advancing as fast as or faster than AI, but since AI is the viral thing, you don't read about the other one.
Morena,
But
¿cómo estás, mamá?
did you know that, like, Morena, ¿cómo estamos? Buenas noches, ¿qué hay? Yo no sé si tú escuchaste de eso que te estoy diciendo, de quantum computing.
Yeah,
Pero-
I know the United States is working heavily and funding it. I know the Chinese are also. It's basically whoever controls this. They're saying that is more valuable than the processing chip.
Yep.
And right now, you know what's going on with the processing chips. We have a war going on. Most people don't even know about it, but there's a war going on right now. Who can control the chips? Why? Because the chip is what controls everything. You're enjoying this podcast because of a fucking processing chip.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is this quantum computing is far more advanced than the processing chip, the silica, whatever.
Well, to tell you the last feat that it was able to achieve some years ago, I would say 1 to 2 years ago, it achieved a feat that no human has ever been able to. It was able to calculate the infinitesimal number of possibilities to an outcome, and then weighting them all, considering them all, chosen the best possible answer that it understands within those, and then do like an evaluation with, like, I think it was like 90% bullseye, you know, dead in the center, like 90% of the time, 90% success or so. It could give you like the best outcome or option that would lead to the best outcome. Sorry. And it can do it so fast that in terms of human speed, you can technically say that it predicts the future. And and that has not been spoken of anywhere in the news. Now imagine if you get ChatGPT.
People might think you're crazy if you bring that up as a subject.
Imagine if you grab ChatGPT and like a jigsaw puzzle, go over quantum computing and do like.
Well, I gave her. I started asking questions about quantum theories and quantum computing
right now,
and she started giving me all. She started giving me all this. I mean, she started giving me all this like in depth with the pies and all this shit. Like it's wild.
But imagine ChatGPT right now, as amazing as it is limited by.
Very limited. And very regulated.
By normal computing.
A lot of walls.
But imagine if you connected it to a quantum computer. And you unlock.
Me imagino yo how much electricity does a quantum computer?
I have no idea. But
because right now they're saying for GPT to run the way it's running, it uses a lot of electricity.
Yeah.
For the processor to process the information.
Yeah. Because it has to do it that fast.
Yeah, so you now we start going into the discussion about how much electricity will quantum computing use, and can we even support it?
I mean, if you take every human being in the world and put them into a simulation and use them as batteries.
All right, bro. You know what, bro? It's starting to sound more like you're talking about the fucking Matrix, bro.
That's exactly what I mean.
I see what you're doing, DJ. I see what you're doing, bro.
Ok, continuamos. Vamos para allá. Porque esto está. Por lo menos bendito, aunque sea para terminar la parte 1 hoy. Y continuamos con otras partes después.
Porque es mucho.
Pero está bien, porque ahí seguimos después, tú me entiendes. Porque todavía no ha llegado a nuestras partes favoritas.
We're just scratching the top.
The introduction.
We're just scratching the top of the discussion. And I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of these things are out of my league. I'll keep it real. But DJ's patient with me, and I have the AI to help me to get me on board. And I'm learning, guys. I am learning. As I told DJ, thank you for putting this together, because not only are we helping people understand, especially in our community. We gotta educate ourselves here.
Y aunque no se eduquen, like at least pique their curiosity, you know.
Educate, and also you're curious. Then you're curious about it, and then you go down your own little rabbit holes.
Exactly.
But I think this is something where we could do it in sections, because there's so much that we could talk about.
Yeah.
And before you know it, time just whittles away.
But that doesn't mean that we haven't enjoyed. Like, it has been a blast, big, and to have people in the chat like give their own input through it all. I love that interaction, and it has been amazing.
Está mind blown.
Morena, es que aquí hay carne para cortar. Tú no.
Sí, porque mira, hablando de lo que yo sé, porque DJ es muy, guys, DJ. He's operating on a different frequency sometimes. But what he did right there was Link. That's another great movie to watch, and I know everyone's watched the Matrix, but yeah, the Matrix, the humans powered everything.
They powered their own dreams, their own lives.
What do you think? Now that and I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole. What do you feel about that? What do you think about being connected to them? Would you like to be connected to the Matrix, DJ? Your opinion.
I feel like I would better be like, ignorance is bliss. Like, I would rather never find out if that is the case. So I would definitely choose to remain connected. Like, if that happened to me, like, I don't think I would be strong enough to deal with the truth. And I think
that's what happens in the movie when they're disconnected, the harsh reality.
Well, then isn't that too like in real life what humans are most worried about?
Death.
The truth.
Where do we go when we die?
Yes.
When you die, do you know where you go? We've been
Nobody
trying to
knows.
figure it out, and I know there's the religious part, and I respect everything. Like,
Yes.
honestly, guys, I respect all points of views, and people have their beliefs, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you having your faith, but let's think out of the box a little bit here, right? Let's take ourselves out of that box, and put us right over here, and then think of it more like in that way. What do we fear the most? Dying. Why? Because we don't. It's uncertainty.
It's the
We don't know what.
the 100% unadulterated truth.
And we're all gonna experience it one way or the other. We're all gonna die one day. We don't live forever. Which honestly, that's another discussion because I want to live forever. No, hell no. And watch all your friends and family die. There was another, actually, going to the discussion about emotion. We could go. There's a movie by an amazing actor. What's his name? Robert Williams. Well, in the movie, he's a robot. Bicentennial Man.
Yeah.
Guys, another great movie by an amazing artist.
Amazing.
We lost an amazing. Number one, he's an amazing artist. Number two, the whoever wrote the fucking movie, they won awards, of course. You guys got to watch it. But it talks about he fights to get the ability to be a human, to die, because he was a very smart AI. He was able to, going back to what we've been talking about in this first part. But in the movie, that's what his goal is. How do I get to that point of feeling the human emotion?
And it was funnily, indeed, and very ironic that what drove the robot to ultimately choose to be human is the fact that he was more eager to connect, because he was like a servitude robot that you could just purchase. In a near distant future, there was the scenario where you could buy a robot that would be like your servant, and that's what he was supposed to be, like a servant.
Yeah, your own private, your own individual AI bot, chat bot that does things.
This particular one had some sprinkle of the Ghost in the Machine, and he was very fond of connecting with people. Ultimately, that's what made him want to be like people. That's interesting, because it discusses empathy, which is an emotion. Like how he ended up being empathetic. So we have like the Cloud9 scenario and the worst case scenario right in front of us. Well, anyways, people, todos los que vinieron, ha sido un placer. Lo mismo, Vic, te lo agradezco. Nos vamos, sí, parte 2, 3, 4, 5 y 6, porque son 6 partes. Luego...
Oye, Sherry. Es que Sherry no quiere, pero hay que trabajar y hay cosas que hacer, pero vamos a seguir and we'll promote it, guys. I will promote it like I did with this one. If you guys want to continue, and then you know what, maybe dig. Maybe you could put this information in the Sherry Nation server, DJ.
Yep.
Part 1, of course. Well, we already not the whole thing, just part 1. If you guys want, look, I'm gonna stay quiet so DJ could close out because we got 15 minutes here before we complete the 2 hours. So, if you guys have questions in the chat, ask questions about what we talked about. And
questions.
You could talk about how you're gonna get this information from part 1 to them in your server there.
I guess I can do like a PDF thing.
Like a PDF recap of what we talked about.
Yeah.
I think when we do the second podcast, which I'm already excited about, guys, we haven't even. I have everything here. We just completed part 1. We haven't even touched part 2, which is what DJ and I love. We've had a lot of discussions about. So this is gonna get. That's why Sherry's like, no terminen. Quiero que diga lo bueno.
Y eso que Cherry puede chequear de lo que vamos a hablar y ver la presentación cuando ella quiera.
Sí, ella sabe.
Porque la
And
tiene
part
aquí.
3, like I told you, my favorite are part 3 and part 4. I already told you.
So she
So,
knows,
guys,
she
everything
knows
guys
things
are
are
part
gonna
3.
get good.
Oh yeah.
Pero no te preocupes. Aquí los esperamos la próxima vez. Como estaba diciendo Big, muchas gracias. Cherry también, que ha estado ahí en el chat. Mira, no se le ha perdido nada. Ni los shoutouts, ni los chats, nada.
We love you, Sherry.
Y a todos los que
One and
vinieron.
only.
Celery, thank you for coming. Mo, you showed up as well. Thank you. Y todos los demás realmente. Jelly, Batata.
Morena, batata. Marshmallow. Jabo. Yo vi Jabo por ahí
sí.
lurking.
Y Morena también. Muchas gracias por venir. Espero verlos entonces la próxima vez. Vic, ¿algo más que quieras decir?
No, me gocé esta parte de la primera parte y when we decide to do the second one, we're going to venture into that part, the second part, which is going to talk about the emotions and going back to the Nero, right?
Escríbelos ahí, por favor. Si quieres, toma. Escríbelos ahí en el chat. Que vamos a agradecerle a todo el mundo que estuvo y que se pasó por aquí.
And there's part 2, guys.
Yes.
That's what we're going to be talking about.
Part 2.
That's coming up. Tomorrow's
Embuste
your
Morena.
birthday.
Pero 27.
¿Va a hacer stream?
Uy, va a celebrar. Pollito.
¡Hey, pollo!
Pollo, estamos despidiéndonos ya. Nos dio
You doing a birthday stream, Morena?
Pollo nos dio más que para discutir la primera parte, así que se vienen 5 podcasts más. Mínimo.
Yeah, because it's so much.
We're going to enjoy so much.
Oh, I'm already, dude. It's awesome. Thank you, DJ.
Anyways, pues gracias a todos. Ahí están todos los nombres. Creo. Que faltan nombres, dijo Cherry. Así que mira, todos los que se han dado la vuelta. Esos son todos. You see more than 10 people. Holy shit. That's interesting, you know, like...
People like podcasts. People like to talk about and learn about new things, Papa, and have, discussions about things, bro. This is good. I'm telling you. This is amazing. I love it.
Bueno, mi gente, se les quiere mucho. Vamos a ver. ¿Quién quiere un rate?
Tenemos a... por ahí veo Honey. Por ahí veo... ¿Quién más?
Tengo dos alternativas aquí. Tengo a Siley y a Mr. Normandy.
I see Mr. Normandy. I see...
¿Nunca has ido al de Siley? Siley PR.
No.
Okay,
Vamos para allá.
we're gonna rate her para que por lo menos la saludes y veas cómo es ella, porque I know you're gonna dig her energy.
Oh, yeah, let's go. I'm down.
So, vamos para donde
Rate is
Siley, mi gente. No, vamos para donde Siley, Ahí está. Vamos para allá. Mi gente, muchas gracias a todos.
I've seen that name. I've seen that name before. I think I follow her.
Vámonos para allá. Bye bye.